What you're looking at isn't just another airplane. This is the COMAC C939, China's aviation masterpiece that could shatter the balance of power in the skies forever. For more than 50 years, Boeing and Airbus have dominated commercial aviation, but now a new player is rising, backed by the full might of the world's second-largest economy. This isn't just about building planes. It's about rewriting the rules of who connects the world. Right now, inside design centers across China, a silent revolution is underway. Not a revolution of bullets or manifestos, but one powered by CD software, engineering precision, and national ambition on a scale that's hard to grasp. China isn't just manufacturing airplanes. It's building an entire aviation ecosystem designed to end America and Europe's grip on global air travel, and it's happening much faster than anyone expected. The question isn't if Chinese aircraft will reshape global aviation. It's when and how Boeing and Airbus will respond. To understand the stakes, consider this. By 2040, airlines worldwide will need more than 39,000 new aircraft worth over $6 trillion. For decades, that market has been a battle between Boeing and Airbus, with smaller manufacturers like Embraer, ATR, and Bombardier, now Airbus Canada, holding niche roles. China has watched from the sidelines long enough, with domestic air travel booming and expected to surpass the US by 2043, and with over 1.44 billion citizens and more than 200 million middle-income families, China can no longer afford to rely on Western aircraft. Geopolitical tensions and the threat of sanctions make dependence on American and European planes an unacceptable risk. Building their own aircraft has become a matter of national security. This has led to what may be the most ambitious industrial project of the 21st century, the creation of a full family of Chinese-designed and built airliners to rival the world's best. What follows may fascinate or terrify Western aerospace leaders. It all starts with what might seem like the least exciting aircraft in China's lineup, the C909, formerly known as the ARJ-21. First flown in 2008, it closely resembles the old McDonnell Douglas MD-80 series, and for good reason. In the 1990s, McDonnell Douglas partnered with China and transferred significant technology before being acquired by Boeing. China never forgot those lessons, but the C909 wasn't built to impress the world. It was built to teach China how to make commercial aircraft. Think of it as training wheels for the aviation industry. Though it uses older GECF-34 engines and carries just 78 to 97 passengers over a range of 3,700 kilometers, its true value lies in experience. With over 150 delivered and 34 operated by Air China, the C909 has given Chinese engineers critical exposure to everything from supply chains to certification processes. International carriers are taking notice. Indonesia's Transnusa Airlines operates 3 C909s and has ordered 30 more, while Equatorial Congo Airlines has also placed orders. These aren't huge numbers, but they mark China's first step onto the global commercial aviation stage, and they're just getting started. If the C909 was a warm-up, the C919 is where the real game begins. Here's a surprising fact: more C919s have been ordered than the entire current fleet of British Airways. With over 1,000 orders and commitments, mostly from Chinese carriers, the C919 directly challenges the Boeing 737 and Airbus A320, the backbone of short to medium-haul routes globally. Flying since 2017 and entering service with China Eastern Airlines in 2023, the C919 can carry between 158 and 192 passengers over a range of 5,555 kilometers. These numbers are almost identical to the 737 MAX and A320neo. However, there's a major difference: price. While Boeing and Airbus charge $80 to $130 million per plane, the C919 is reportedly offered at much lower prices to break into the market. An attractive proposition for emerging regions like Africa, Southeast Asia, and Latin America. But is the C919 just a Western plane in a Chinese shell? Partially yes for now. It uses CFM LEAP 1C engines, the same type found in many 737s and A320s, along with avionics from Honeywell and Collins Aerospace. But China is playing the long game. COMAC is already testing the CJ1000A engine to eventually replace the foreign ones. Every C919 sold builds market share, while China quietly works on domestic replacements for each Western component. They're not stopping there. COMAC is developing two C919 variants, an extended fuselage model with 50 more seats, and a high-altitude version designed for the Tibetan Plateau. This isn't just product evolution, it's strategic. They're targeting key market niches while Boeing and Airbus work on their own narrow-body updates. If successful, this would be the first time since the jet age began that airlines have a serious alternative to Boeing and Airbus for narrow-body aircraft. But China's ambitions go further. Enter the C929, China's first wide-body aircraft project designed to compete with the Boeing 787 and Airbus A350. If you were a CEO trying to replace aging long-haul jets, wouldn't you at least consider a new, cheaper option from China? The C929 aims to carry 250 to 320 passengers up to 12,000 kilometers, enough to connect any Chinese city to major global hubs like New York, London, or Sydney. Air China is already signed on as launch customer, with deliveries optimistically targeted for 2027, though 2029 is more realistic. 3 variants are planned. The base C929-500, 250 seats in 3 classes. The stretched C929-600, 280 seats with a high-density max of 440. And the largest, C929-700, 320 seats in 3 classes. Some reports even suggest the 600 model may be launched first. Wide-body aircraft present the biggest challenge. They require advanced composites. More than 50% of the structure in aircraft like the 787 and A350 is composite, and China is still mastering these technologies. An early partnership with Russia's United Aircraft Corporation fell apart, leaving COMAC to proceed alone, although companies like Liebherr and possibly GE Aerospace are assisting. But China doesn't need the C929 to be better than the 787. They just need it to be good enough and cheaper. COMAC is following the same playbook: build domestic momentum, expand into friendly nations, and slowly gain global experience, just like they did with the C909 and C919. For Boeing and Airbus, this is an existential threat. A competitor backed by the world's second-largest economy and driven not just by profit, but national strategy. And if you think that's bold, wait for the C939, China's heavyweight long-haul contender aimed at rivaling the Boeing 777X. With plans kicking off in 2024, the C939 is still in the design phase, but its goal is clear: to carry around 400 passengers up to 13,000 kilometers with just one stop between any 2 major aviation hubs. To power this massive aircraft, China is developing the CJ2000, also known as the AF3500, a scaled-up version of the CJ1000A. This engine won't be ready until at least 2030, setting a realistic target for the C939's first flight. What most people don't see is that China isn't just building aircraft, they're building everything around them. From maintenance and training centers to financing structures, they're developing a complete aviation support system. By the time the C939 is ready, this ecosystem will already be in place. The C939 represents China's ultimate ambition, not just to compete, but to leap ahead with next-generation efficiency and design. Whether they succeed remains to be seen, but ignoring their determination would be a huge mistake. So what does all this mean for aviation's future? Imagine a world where Boeing and Airbus are no longer the only major players, where airlines have new leverage even if they never buy a Chinese aircraft, where increased competition leads to lower ticket prices. Of course, safety concerns will arise, as they did when Boeing and Airbus were starting out. But for Western manufacturers, the threat is real: losing the Chinese domestic market, facing fierce pricing competition in emerging economies, and slowly eroding their global dominance. This isn't just an industry battle. It's a shift in technological power. A nation of 1.44 billion people is declaring that the technologies defining modern civilization shouldn't belong solely to the West. They too can master complex engineering, and every COMAC aircraft that flies is proof of that. This is more than a commercial fight. It's about who will shape the future of global infrastructure. And China has made it clear they're playing the long game. The aviation landscape as we know it is about to change forever.